So I finished the vest for my husband for our Bridgerton events, but now I am going to be making him a jacket to go with it. And I have about 24 hours before the event starts. So let's see if I can do it. For this project, I used Laughing Moon Mercantile sewing pattern number 122. I sent my husband to the fabric store for blue wool, and this is what he came back with, a very fine choice indeed. I asked that he specifically get blue wool because that is what all the Bridgerton men are wearing these days. Blue was also a very popular color for men's coats in the early 1800s, so it was a historically accurate choice as well. I'm setting my husband's outfit in 1814, since that is when season 2 of Bridgerton takes place. And this means that in this time period, we see the transition from breeches to pants. Now, I'm not confident in my pants making abilities, nor did I have time, so I ordered some from Mrs. Pappendick.
So how do you like your new pants?
They're quite comfy, actually. The high waist makes it so it doesn't fall down, even though it's slightly loose. So it feels good. I feel like they're supposed to be a little tighter to me, but I think they look good. Look at the gold buttons. I gotta get some gold buttons to match.
The shirt that I made you has gold buttons.
See? You plan for everything.
I began cutting out the pattern with haste and quickly became overwhelmed with the sheer number of pattern pieces and tight deadline I had sewn myself into. Because remember, I really only have 24 hours to make this Regency Era tailcoat. I didn't have to rush at all with the making of the vest, which was in my last video. I took my sweet time doing that, but now we are rapidly approaching the deadline of attending the Queen's Ball, a Bridgerton experience. I've heard mixed reviews of the Bridgerton experience, but I'll be vlogging my experience and sharing my opinions in the next video, so be sure to stay tuned for that. I used pinking shears to cut out the wool, and I really regret doing that because wool, it doesn't really unravel, and it was quite thick, which was just very annoying to cut, especially with pinking shears, so I would not recommend. Now, as if there were not enough pattern pieces to cut out of the wool, I also had to cut out as many pieces almost of interfacing, as well as additional fabric for the lining. And, well, of course, I used white cotton bed sheets that I thrifted for the lining of the sleeves. Okay, so I got all of the cutting done. I cut out the pattern, and then I cut out the fabric. I've been cutting so much and so fast, I actually got myself a blister. It's very upsetting. With my sewing wound bandage, I then began to iron on the interfacing. Yes, I used iron-on interfacing. There were also other things that the pattern recommended that would probably be more historically accurate. But remember, I'm on a time crunch. We got 24 hours to do this. And this was obviously the quickest. But of course, if you are interested, you can also get the pattern and see what else it recommends. Next, it was time to make and insert the pockets. One of the wonderful things about gentlemen's fashion in the Regency Era specifically is that there are pockets everywhere. There are pockets in the vest, there are pockets in the coat. So here I am trying to make sure I have lined up exactly where the pockets are supposed to be before I, have to cut a slit in the fabric, which is of course incredibly nerve-wracking because it's not easy to fix if you mess that up, so I wanted to make sure I had it quite right, marked it out very well, and then I began pinning in and sewing in the pocket lining itself, which I again used white cotton bed sheets for that. And then turn the pocket right side out, or in this case, almost inside out, because the seams that you'll see are going to be on the, outside, since the pocket will be nice and smooth on the inside. And then I went ahead and attached it to the other side, pinned it, and sewed it down. It was then time to hem the pocket flap, which Lucky was incredibly helpful for. I then pinned the pocket flaps in
place and sewed them down. The pattern originally called for 2 flaps, an outer flap and an inner flap that was smaller. I decided to forego the inner flap and just put the outer flap on because, again, time crunch. Now it's time to construct the body of the coat. Here I am pinning together the center back pieces, and then also like the little extra back flap that gives a little bit of extra room to the tails, making them have that nice full effect, which of course you need when you have a good Regency tailcoat. It's all about the tails. I then attached the back of the coat to the front of the coat, which was a very exciting moment because it started to look like a coat. It became wearable. And we all know that when a project gets to a wearable state, that is a very exciting moment indeed.
All right, and we'll try on the pinned version. So be careful from where it is full of pins.
It's like thinner and heavier feeling than I thought.
Well, it doesn't have the lining yet. It's already looking really, really good.
I guess it just lays out, right? Except for this here.
That's what they can. So, feeling good?
Yeah. I assume it's just supposed to sit like a regular suit, right?
Mm-hmm, but like, arms good? Feel like you can chicken dance? They were a little weird, so
No, but it's honestly, it doesn't, like, the vest still has that, like, the slightest of pulls. So this one is open enough that it doesn't, which works well as I can't go up as far because of the jacket, but the vest allows me. So basically it works.
It's fine?
It's good.
Okay.
Yeah. Normal restriction of movement for a suit.
Can you pull your jacket again?
Close it?
Yeah. Okay.
So after seeing my husband try on the jacket, I was feeling pretty confident because menswear is not really my thing. I'm getting better at it as I continue to build my husband's historical wardrobe, but having to do this jacket, which I have never really done before, on such a tight time crunch too, I was very excited to see that I was looking so well, and I felt confident enough to go ahead and put on the lining. I didn't feel like I needed to make any other alterations. Really, I didn't need to make any alterations at all. The pattern fit very well like I said it was supposed to. So here I am sewing the lining onto the jacket. I had only ever made one men's jacket before, and that was an 1860s tailcoat, but I was using one of the big 3 patterns. I think it was a simplicity pattern. I kind of lined it. I did not do the collar right. So seeing this, it was already a very large improvement from the last jacket I made and made me feel more accomplished in my skills. So I had then attached the lining for the tails of the coat, and now here I am making the sleeves for the coat. I added the lining to the sleeves, and then I set them into the jacket. I was supposed to gather the top, but the way that this wool was behaving, it did not want to gather with machine gathers, so I just kind of had to wing it and just kind of force it into the armhole. I had some beautiful gold buttons that I was going to use as closures for this jacket. It is a double-breasted jacket, and I'm going to go ahead and mark where I want to put those buttonholes, and then I am putting in those buttonholes with my sewing machine. There was a lot of hand finishing work to do, which I did not get all done before going to the Bridgerton event. When Stephen was wearing it to the Queen's Ball, there were still definitely some pins in it, and one might have stabbed him almost in the rib. But it's fine. I finished doing all of the hand sewing that needed to be done for our second ball, and it looked very good. So here you will see the final product. It was at this moment at the Queen's Ball Bridgerton experience that I realized I accidentally made a Colin Bridgerton cosplay, which I'm not mad about. Colin is one of the better characters in my opinion, and I'm very excited to see what happens to him next season. I did not mean to make a Colin Bridgerton cosplay, but I definitely nailed the jacket and vest color. The only thing different is white versus black pants, but here is my very own sweetheart. I hope you enjoyed, and that you will stay tuned as I have more Bridgerton projects. Let me know what you think down in the comments. Let me know what your favorite season of Bridgerton is so far and what you are excited about for season 3.